Welcome to Wild Wednesdays. We're so happy to have you here today, Washoe County Library Systems. Wild Wednesdays, we're here with Wild Things. Gabe, welcome. So excited to have you here again. Tell us a little bit about conservation ambassadors, would you please?
Yeah, absolutely. I love it that you'd like to start like that because it's important to me that people know why we have the animals here. What we do is we're a wild animal rescue center. We take in animals, we give homes to animals that have either been injured and can't be set free back out in the forest, or animals that people have tried to keep illegally as pets. And it's a huge problem here in North America. And people try and, not happy having a dog or a cat as a pet, and they try and make a wild animal to a pet. And like I said, it's against the law. It never works. Those animals are taken away and they're sent to our center. Now, what we do is we take these animals in, we work with them, give them lots of love, a whole lot of attention, and a lot of food. And the animals that we can, we try to travel. We travel mostly to schools and libraries, giving us a chance to share these animals up close and personal. This is, since COVID, we've been doing a lot of these Zoom programs, and it's fun doing Wild Wednesday, but I can't wait till we're back in your library branches on our live programs in person. Today's program, I brought three different creatures to meet. I brought a mammal, a furry creature. I brought a bird, you might hear in the background. And I brought a reptile because those are Morgan's favorites, right? Miss Morgan loves her reptile, well, especially the snakes. And brought some amazing animals for you to meet. And would you like me to bring one out now to start?
Sure, that would be great.
Check him out.
It's a snake.
It's a no, it's not a. That is a great guess, and that's the confusion thing. If you looked at this guy, you would say he's just kind of a tan-colored, green-colored snake. But you know what? He's not. He's actually a lizard. It's called the legless lizard. If you look at him, he has those eyes that can close, and snakes don't have eyes that can close. And right behind his eye, he has a little tiny hole, and that's an ear opening. Snakes don't have ear openings. Their ears are underneath the skin. So that's how you can tell he is a lizard. And actually, if you were to take an x-ray of his skeletal system, you would actually find he does have legs. Even the legless lizard has legs. They're just underneath the skin. Now, you might say, a lizard with no legs, how does he get around? Well, he moves much like a snake. He kind of serpentines along. Look at him go. He's not very fast, is he? He's not very fast when he moves along. But you know what? He doesn't need to be. He goes down into tunnels after crickets or those big, some people call them potato bugs. He loves those things. He goes down the holes, and that's how he makes his living. Sure, if he comes across a very slow mouse, he might make a meal out of it, but mostly he likes to eat bugs. Isn't he the coolest creature?
This is amazing. So I would like to go back. I am not afraid of all reptiles. I do have a little fear of snakes. And I am amazed that we have a legless lizard. I have never heard of such a thing.
Isn't it amazing? Nature is truly fantastic. This is an animal that not much is talked about. Now, some people might recognize, if you look at his face, he'd look a lot like an alligator lizard that you have over there near Reno. Mm-hmm. And he is in the same family. He is a skink. Those are the skinks. And being such, his tail is very, very special. If he gets frightened or grabbed onto by his tail, he can lose his tail. And some people say it falls off. I never like to say it falls off because that truly is part of his body. It bleeds and it hurts him, and he doesn't want to lose his tail. But it comes off, and the rest of him goes kind of scurrying away. Hopefully, whatever was bothering him, whatever was preying on him, might be happy with the tail and leave the rest of the skink alone, the rest of the lizard alone. Oh, he might do something really cool here. If he gets a little bit nervous, he spins. He rolls over in my hands. He'll do this whole, whoa, look at that. And he goes all the way over, and that's how he kind of throws himself from side to side and rolls a little bit. Look carefully on his head. He's getting ready to shed that last scale on top of his head. He was kind of a brown color, but after he sheds, he has this kind of, would you call that khaki? Kind of a green khaki coloration. I think he's just beautiful. Those golden brown eyes or hazel colored eyes. Amazing creature. That is the legless lizard. This particular species, we have one here in the US, but this particular species comes from Europe and lives in Europe.
You answered my questions before I even say them. That was my next question.
Yeah, he speaks with a French lizard accent.
Does he? Somebody asked what his name was.
But this guy just recently came to us, and we have named him Willow. Rollo. His name is Rollo. The staff here at Wild Things have named him Rollo, and probably because he rolls over in your hands. Either that or he tastes like one of those little candies. I'm not sure.
I'm guessing not that part. So one of the questions was, does he move the same way as a snake? And you kind of showed us. Do they slither more? Like that's exactly the same kind of movement?
Correct. Although he can do both. He can move in what's called a rectilinear motion, where he moves along in a straight line, or he can push in that serpentine or the S motion. Wow. He can do both, but he's very slow when he goes straight and a little bit quicker when he does the serpentine, the S motion. Well, I think he's enjoying this beautiful sunny day out here.
I'm assuming he likes heat too.
He does. 80 degrees is his optimum temperature. Gets down to 70, he gets a little sleepy, and he just wants to go underneath the dirt. We brought that up. He likes to burrow. You can see he has kind of a hard bony plate on top of his head. He goes down into the soft dirt, maybe 2 inches deep, and that's where he hides to escape predators. It's amazing to watch him. Sometimes he'll slither into a hole. It just kind of disappears right in front of you.
He's cool. I have to say, I'm not feeling the same. Although I did some research after Miss Piggy, because we talked about how that can help. But I'm liking Rollo. I think he's adorable.
I appreciate that very much. I think he is too. I think the lizards are just fascinating creatures. All right. Let's say goodbye to Rollo.
Bye, Rollo.
All right. Okay. You want to meet probably the noisiest, loudest creature at our center?
Oh, I was gonna say if it's in the library, they're not ready yet. But
well, if I bring him to the library, he'll be a little bit noisy too. And this guy, he can actually sing, and his favorite musical artist is Harry Belafonte, and he sings Deo.
Wow.
No lie, it's really cool. His name is TJ. Check him out. Hi, TJ. Terrific bird.
Oh.
Isn't he stunning?
You are stunning.
This is TJ, and he is a blue and gold macaw. Now, they get their name, the macaw, because of the sound they make. As they're in the rainforest making sounds, and when I say rainforest, I'm talking about in Central and South America, they make a big sound. It's kind of wah, wah. And usually, yeah, you can scream if you want. We're outdoors. He makes that sound, and he's super loud. But just imagine a whole flock of them, 30 or 50 of these guys all together screaming like that. I think that'd just be amazing. Now, the blue and gold, obviously, because of his coloration. I look at some birds' colors and truly just, where does that color come from? It's just gorgeous. The kind of the golden yellow there and the blue and the turquoise on top of his head. Stunningly beautiful. Only one of 17 different types of macaw that we have in the world. Now, they are the largest of the cetaceans. Largest of the parrots are the macaws. And they have this great beak. I don't know. Will you let me pet you? Yeah, they have this great beak on top of their head. That beak there, it's kind of like, it's kind of a nutcracker to break open seeds and nuts. It's also for defense. If something were to bother him, he could administer a very, very serious bite with that beak. But I think the coolest thing he does with that is he climbs with it. When he lands in a tree, he climbs along and he uses this as kind of an extra hand. He grabs on, he pulls himself up, and then he uses his feet. Now, his feet, they're not like other birds. Most perching birds have 3 toes forward and 1 toe in the back, like this, so they can grab on. Well, this guy is what's called zygodactyl. Kind of a cool word. Zygodactyl. I hope one day to use it in Scrabble. But a zygodactyl bird, he has 2 toes in front and 2 toes in back. 2 toes that go forward and 2 in back. So he is actually the best tree climber of all the birds. He grabs on and he has just a tremendous, tremendous grip. Now, I should tell you, I always like to tell why we have all the animals at our center. This guy, somebody bought, probably paid a lot of money for him and tried to keep him in their home. And guess what? Parrots make a lot of mess and they make a lot of noise. And every time when people buy parrots, well, I'm not going to say every time, but most often it doesn't work out really well. And the birds need to find new homes. And this guy came to us, and I love him. He's now part of our Amazon rainforest program. I hope one day to travel to the Amazon and see a whole flock of these beautiful birds flying over the treetops. It says with those colorful feathers. Can we show your wings? Can you show your wings? No wings? Okay. No. And he does mimic the whole idea of parrots learning to talk. Now, I don't think he knows what he's saying, obviously, but this guy is pretty good at putting the words into the appropriate places. For instance, if a telephone rings, he answers, hello. If you sneeze, he says, bless you, which is really kind of cool because I sneeze a lot. This guy also does that beautiful song. And when people are walking past the facility and he sees them leaving, he'll sing his songs or make a really cute noise, and he gets the people to come back to him. He's controlling us. He's kind of training the people around him. Very, very smart. Very intelligent, and was one of the reasons I don't know people love parrots. I think if people really love parrots, we would do everything we possibly can to protect their rainforest, the places that these guys call home. Hi. Can you say? I'm sorry.
Go ahead. Well, I want to hear TJ if he's ready to talk. I'm not gonna.
Are you gonna talk? Can you give me a kiss? Nope, I didn't brush my teeth. No kiss?
That's okay.
No, but when he sings Deo, he does the first stanza, and then he kind of mumbles the last part. Did I come and we want to go home? It's very funny. I'm not going to sing here for you today. That would ruin Wild Wednesdays forever. But this guy here it's great. He does the whole song.
He is, TJ, you are beautiful. You are a very beautiful bird. How long is the lifespan for a bird like TJ?
The larger parrots, 70 to 80 years, a long time. They live a good long time.
Another reason too that you're not going to outlive probably your parrot.
Exactly right. You have that bird, you've made a huge commitment, a long-term commitment. Yeah. It's whenever we see these birds come into our center, we have to kind of think about that because we're getting up there too. So the big tortoises or the big macaws that come in, it's a huge commitment. He's now 26 years old. Yeah, right about that. He and I are exactly the same age.
Yeah. His hair is a little fuller. Feathers are a little fuller than yours.
Just a little bit. Look at the tail feathers. That does amazing.
The colors are absolutely stunning. It's amazing. And I'm with some knowledge of macaws. I've seen some other reds, and they're usually a bright colored bird. Is that a defense mechanism for those types of birds?
You know what? It's not. It's not. It has more to do with attracting the other macaws. Okay. These guys, they're fairly well protected. They have there's no camouflage aspects to it. These guys are out there just showing off and attracting the other birds.
Wow. Well, TJ is absolutely gorgeous. Thank you, TJ.
All right, say bye. No?
It's like a child.
They don't Wild Wednesday. Wild Wednesday. That was him. That said that. Yeah. Okay. Okay. Very, very special guest. An animal that's a lot like you and I. He's smart. He's fast. He has hands. He has feet. He even has a belly button. His name is Darwin, and could be the smartest animal at our center. So let me go back here and get this is Darwin. You guys hear that chirping? It sounds like a bird. It's not a bird, though. This is Darwin.
Oh, Darwin, you are not a bird.
He is not a bird. This is a Capuchin monkey. And this guy here, he is the weeper Capuchin monkey. He is a lot like us. Hands just like we do. 4 fingers and an opposable thumb. Can I show him your hand? Let me show him your hand. Look at that thumb. He has 4 fingers and an opposable thumb. You know what he has that we don't have?
What?
He has thumbs on his feet. He has 4 hands. He is such a great tree climber. He goes up and down the trees and he never, ever falls. He has 4 hands and he has this great tail. He can grab on with that prehensile tail. He can grab on and keep his balance up there in the trees. Darwin's super, super smart. He has a language just like we do. He has certain calls. That call you just heard, that was a greeting. He really wants to go to Becky, the camera gal here. He's going to go over there and say hello. It's important that he says hello to everybody in his family group. That's so. And then usually from that greeting, that will kind of start a little bit of grooming. This is where they go through each other's fur, and people say they're always looking for bugs. Really, sure, if they come across a bug, that's part of it. But more, it's building those social bonds. It's like saying, "Hey, you're a member of my family. You're okay, and I'm okay. We're all members of the same group." And they do rely on each other amazingly. That they have an alarm call. Let's say there was a hawk. He would make a sound, and all the other capuchins would know there's a hawk in the area. If there's a snake, he would make a different alarm call. He'd make a different sound and say that everybody would know that he has a language just like we do. They live in those large groups, and a group of monkeys is called a troop, kind of like a Girl Scout troop or a Boy Scout troop, but it's a troop of monkeys. Of any primate is called a troop. And these guys are lucky enough to come from Costa Rica. And Costa Rica as a nation protects their forests. These guys have habitat and they are thriving. They're doing very, very well right alongside of us. You're taking over the show, Darwin. Come back here, buddy. So a gentleman in Los Angeles tried to keep this guy as an illegal pet. He's a very famous man, a musician, and he tried to keep this guy as an illegal pet. Monkeys, I can say this very, very clearly, monkeys do not belong in people's homes as pets. This is a wild animal, an intelligent wild animal. He should be living in a family group. He should be out there exploring his world. His mind is just so active. Could never be content living in a pet situation. If any of you are interested in being close to primates, though, you know what I would suggest doing? I would suggest studying science and getting a job working with monkeys, getting a job studying them in the wild, being part of a solution rather than being part of the problem. He's pretty cute when he hangs out on my head, huh?
He's cute all the way around. And I think this is another reason you can see why people want to acquire a pet or an animal like this as a pet.
Exactly. That is problematic. I mean, I know that he looks awfully cute and playful right now. Let me stress one thing though. This is a baby. As he matures, he's going to change. As he becomes an adult, he's going to want to be in charge, and his behavior will change.
I have to tell Darwin we like Becky just as much as he does.
Oh, he loves Becky. Becky, whoop, there we go.
Let me see if I can turn it around here. There we go.
Everyone, this is Becky. She's been helping on the backside of our Zoom presentation. So thank you, Becky. Darwin looks like he is very enamored there.
Yes.
I'm happy to be here too, sharing the animals with you all.
Okay, come on back, little guy. Oh, there she says, no, come here, buddy. Were there any questions, Morgan?
I haven't seen any. You answered my Costa Rica because I was really curious. What about the lifespan of Darwin?
Well, in the wild, about 40 years.
Wow.
But we have a Capuchin monkey here who's been to the Washoe County Libraries before. Her name is Hobo, and she is 54 years old.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
So
Darwin's not camera shy for sure either.
No, he loves cameras. He loves any sort of thing with buttons. He has to push them.
Are they, and so just a fruit and vegetable diet for Darwin?
Correct. They're primarily frugivores. So fruits, vegetables, leaves, but they're not above taking a bird's egg if they came across a bird's nest or maybe a big worm. They're not above eating that as well.
Oh, so sweet.
He is pretty cute. So here's where I had to get the little heavy part. Come on back, buddy. Everybody loves monkeys, but 90% of the world's monkeys are in trouble. 90% are endangered in the wild. So we have to protect them. We have to protect their rainforest. We all love them. But the question is, are we doing enough to help save them in the wild? And you know what? There's a lot of hope. Some areas are doing a good job with ecotourism and saving rainforests. just like we're doing here in the U.S. So I don't want anybody to get discouraged, but we have to step up. It's time to step up and take care of these amazing animals.
That's a large number. I wouldn't have expected it to be as high. That's too bad.
You're chirping. Here, right? Look at these teeth. These teeth are going to get bigger. Oh, no. Okay, he has these great big choppers, and he gets big canines, much like you refer to vampire teeth.
Mhm.
And when he's an adult, they'll be about 3/4 of an inch long.
Wow. Wow. And so does Darwin and his friend, they all live together in the same habitat there?
Yeah, he lives with other capuchins. Yes.
Oh, cool. Cool.
Yeah. She's actually Hobo, the older one, is a little bit annoyed with him right now. He's very, very playful, and she's quite elderly and doesn't want to wrestle quite so much. So she every now and again pulls on his hair or kind of screams at him to back off. He can be a little annoying sometimes. But even that's positive. Even that is so important to them to have that interaction.
And part of that communication that they
Right.
have with each other.
Tree? No, not going to climb that tree.
No. Your head or Becky, it looks like.
Yeah.
Well, Darwin, you are beautiful and super fun. We can't wait to see you in person. I'm glad you brought that up. I think it's right around the corner. For those of you watching, yeah, we've opened up our branches, so we've extended our hours. We're close to fully open, which is fantastic. So make sure you come and see us. Again, all of our resources are available online. Our next Wild Wednesdays will be Wednesday, July 28th at 2 o'clock. So register through our website or make sure you join us here on Facebook or through Zoom. And then do your research, come ask us questions. We'll help you find some information. So whether we're going to help save our monkeys, make our careers there, or learn about legless lizards, which are a lot less scary than the snakes, we're here for you. Gabe, thank you so much. Appreciate it.
Thank you, Morgan. And thank you, Washington County Library. Thank you guys for tuning in. And next week or next Wild Wednesday, that's 2 weeks, right?
Correct.
We might have a really big animal. So please tune back in.
Wow. And if you haven't, go back because we did have a big one at the beginning of all of this too. Becky, thank you so much for your help again today too.
My pleasure.
Have a great Wednesday. We'll see you in 2 weeks.